Let me tell you about two guys. Same age, same city, same salary. They even graduated from the same college. But one Saturday afternoon, they each made a completely different decision with the same $15,000. Joe bought the car he'd been dreaming about for 2 years. Adam opened his investment account and never looked back. That was 5 years ago. And what happened next, honestly, is not what most people expect. Because this isn't really a story about money. It's a story about what money actually costs you and what it actually buys you. Stay with me.
Joe and Adam met in college. Same lectures, same cramped apartments, same broke student energy. But even back then, you could tell they were wired differently. Joe wanted to feel successful. He wanted the things that made success visible. Not because he was shallow, but because he genuinely believed that confidence came from the outside in. That if you looked the part, you'd eventually become the part. Adam wanted to become secure. He'd watched his parents stress about money his whole childhood. He decided early on that was never going to be him. Neither of them was wrong about what they wanted. They were just chasing it differently. By 26, they were both working. Same company, same salary, same starting point. $15,000 sitting in each of their accounts, saved over 2 years. Not from luck, just from showing up every single day. Joe had been looking at this car for 6 months. A used BMW 3 Series, 3 years old, clean condition, $15,000. Every time he drove past the dealership, he slowed down. Every time he opened his banking app and saw his balance, he thought about it. He was tired of feeling average, tired of parking his old, beaten-up car next to his colleagues' nice ones, tired of feeling like he was always almost there, but never quite arriving. So on a Saturday morning in March 2019, he went in. He ran his hand along the hood, sat in the driver's seat, smelled that smell, and he thought, I've worked hard for 2 years. I'm still young. I have time. He signed the papers that afternoon. He didn't buy a car. He bought a feeling. Adam also thought about buying a car for about a week. Then he opened a spreadsheet. $15,000 at an average market return of 10% per year. In 5 years, roughly $24,000. In 10 years, nearly $40,000. Without doing anything, without thinking about it. His current car was old. It made a noise he'd learned to ignore, but it got him from A to B. And to Adam, a car was just a way to get somewhere. He couldn't make the numbers justify $15,000 for something that started losing value the moment it left the lot. So on a Sunday evening, he transferred the money, clicked confirm, closed his laptop. No celebration, no dopamine hit, just a decision. He went to bed early and woke up Monday like nothing happened. Year 1 was, honestly, great for Joe. The car felt exactly like he imagined. He drove to work differently. He carried himself differently. Small things changed. He spoke up more in meetings. He got invited to more things. His confidence shifted in ways he hadn't expected. Subtle, but real. Meanwhile, Adam's portfolio sat at around $16,500. Nothing exciting, just a number on a screen. His old car made its weird noise. He turned the radio up. Year 2 introduced Joe to something nobody mentions when they're selling you a dream. Maintenance. New brakes, a sensor, a full service. $1,800 he hadn't planned for. And the insurance? More than he expected every single month. He still loved the car, but it was starting to feel less like a reward and more like a responsibility. Adam's portfolio crossed $18,000. He'd started adding $200 a month from his salary. He barely noticed it leaving his account. Year 3, Joe started feeling something he hadn't expected. Not regret, exactly, just awareness. A colleague mentioned index funds at lunch. A friend posted about their portfolio. Joe nodded along, realized he had nothing to say. The BMW was worth $9,000 now. $6,000 gone in 3 years, and he still had months of payments left. Adam crossed $20,000. He didn't celebrate. He just kept going.
Year 4. Joe finally sat down one evening and actually looked at his finances. Really looked. The car was worth $7,000. He'd spent roughly $8,000 above what a cheaper car would have cost him. Payments, insurance, repairs. Add that to the $15,000 he paid, and his real cost was sitting around $23,000 for something worth $7,000. He didn't spiral. Joe wasn't the type to spiral. He opened an investment account that night, funded it with $500. Felt like starting over, but he started anyway. Adam's portfolio was approaching $25,000. He got a raise that year and immediately increased his monthly contribution. He'd never gotten used to spending the money, so he never missed it. And then, year 5, March 2024, 5 years later. On paper, Adam won. His portfolio was sitting at $28,000. Joe's car was worth $6,500. Joe had just started investing. But here's what the spreadsheet doesn't show you. In year 2, Joe got promoted. Not because of the car, but something about how he carried himself had changed. His manager noticed, his colleagues noticed. That promotion added $11,000 to his annual salary. In year 1, Joe met someone at a dinner he almost didn't go to. So here we are, 5 years later. Joe has a depreciating car, a promotion, a relationship, great memories, and a small investment account he just started. He's behind on building wealth, but he's not broken. He learned, and he started. Adam has a portfolio approaching $30,000, financial clarity, low stress about money, but he's asking himself bigger questions now about what life actually looks like when you finally reach the number you were chasing. Neither of them made a catastrophic mistake. Both of them paid a price for their choice. Here's the thing nobody tells you about money decisions. Every choice has a cost, not just a financial one, a life cost. Joe paid with future wealth to buy present joy. Adam paid with present moments to build future security. The real risk wasn't the car, and it wasn't skipping the car either. The real risk was making the choice unconsciously, without knowing what you were actually trading. So the question isn't who was right. The question is, which trade-off are you making right now? And did you actually choose it? Or did it just happen to you? Are you Joe or Adam?